Sweet Potato Pirate Radio coming in hot. Welcome back, everybody. We're back.
Rebrand.
We're rebranding. We're calling ourselves Sweet Potato Pirate Radio. It's just more fun.
It's lit.
I love the energy you came in with.
That's how you gotta come in, yo.
Yeah.
I'm tired as hell, and I'm coming through hot.
This is for all of our subscribers, all 9 subscribers, and we've recently passed 100 total channel views.
That's what's up,
we
yo.
Might not have the biggest. We might not be on some PewDiePie level, but hey, we got some better subscribers than they do.
He fell off. PewDiePie fell off.
Good.
It's Pirate Radio time.
This is Pirate Radio. No more podcasting.
Pirate Radio.
This is a radio show. Pirate Radio.
Can you hear the gunshots?
We'll get some more headphones.
Well, you know, I honestly you should give him the headphones because I just like being on a little mic right here.
I'll take them.
Take them. In fact, I talk better when I don't hear myself. Because I'm just like, who's this asshole? Who the hell is this mother? Yeah, I can't curse. I'm sorry.
Oh,
no cursing.
Is family friendly?
It's family friendly.
It's family friendly, but it's also blunt friendly, right?
Can you press the cheers button?
What is this?
Friendly family.
Banana. It should smell like every blunt.
We love the kids, for the children.
We do it for the future. We do it for Major.
Where is Major? Major.
Right there.
Major, stop being silly and come be in the podcast.
Major, yeah, he's in dart mode right now. Look at him. He's been obsessed with these darts.
Okay, I gotta get my phone to relax. Anyway, I feel like we should. I don't know. I have a lot of things on my mind.
I don't have any poems for today, so it's gonna be a little different than the regular episode. We're not gonna really follow the same.
Can I say something? Can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just feel like I don't know.
Yeah, we should talk about your cat.
Random. This is completely random.
You don't want to talk about the cat? Okay, I won't talk about the cat. Okay. I feel bad.
It is. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
All right, we'll talk about it later.
Let him talk.
But this has something to do with cats. I want to take a human brain, not really the brain, human consciousness, and put it in a cat.
That's already happened, yo. That's already happened. You know about Yoroichi?
No.
It's from Bleach. You know about Yoroichi Bleach?
No.
I mean, in real life.
In the beginning, she was this black cat, mysterious, and then all of a sudden,
naked when she turns back human.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that
I remember that.
turned me out when I was a kid. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I was like 12 years old. It was crazy. I was like, yes.
Major's back.
Here's Major.
Here's his
Yoroichi
dart that he's been obsessed with.
But just like completely shatter their reality. Be like the world, China hates us. We're at a proxy war with Russia. Goddamn. I don't know, just
you said who hates us?
I was like China. I'm just saying, fill the cat's brain with just too much information.
I feel like the cat will immediately kill himself. I feel like if you allow the cat to maintain part of his consciousness along with the human, cat's not taking it. Cat's like, what is this?
What if he just doesn't care? Like, that has nothing to do with
humans be doing too much with their heads.
Honestly, we should just world peace. It should not be that hard. Like, why?
Look at him. He's so peaceful. It will ruin this cat. If you put a human mind
that is true, honestly.
It will ruin the cat forever, yo. He'll just be depressed.
He's sweet. Yeah.
He'll be questioning why he's alive, why it all matters.
Yeah, thinking is not good for people.
Who cares?
I think it really
have you seen grasshoppers?
I'm
sorry.
They're delightful. Those are delightful creatures. Yo, can we talk about it? You were just in D.C.
I was just seeing family, nothing crazy. It's cousins, little baby cousins.
You have a good time?
They're like, you can hear me talking on your headphones, right?
Yeah.
Does it sound good?
Yeah, but you were a little bit far away from the mic.
I might, yeah, that's right. I want to know if
right now.
Okay, perfect. Okay. You see my little mic. Yeah, no, it's just usual family stuff. Everybody's super grown up fast. Like last time I saw them, they were literally like fetuses.
Oh, wow.
And and now they're like bouncing up and down. And they get attached to you super fast, super hard. I get attached too. Like I miss them so much already.
Yeah.
Especially Blin. Shout out Blin. Shout out Muse, Ruta.
And you were out of town as well.
Yeah, I went back to Louisiana.
Oh, okay.
My alma mater, yeah. I was there on work actually.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I made it fun.
I forgot you graduated. You graduated?
Mm-hmm.
University?
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta?
In Louisiana.
Louisiana. Why am I saying that? Okay.
Yeah, I
don't know why I thought you never. I thought you were just doing like a whole other path.
Oh no.
I didn't know you went to the college path as well. That's crazy.
Yeah. I've done it all. I'm through.
You should try to explain your job now that I can be more coherently understand.
Okay.
Before I was a little like on the art show buzz.
Oh, the art show.
The art show buzz.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You mean right now?
Yeah, your laboratory. It's not a lab. What do you work at?
I work at Trimble, the software company.
Software. Okay. Yeah.
I am what's part of a rotational development program.
Oh yeah.
And what that means is, for the next 2 years, I'll be rotating between four different positions within our like different business sectors. So like our main are agriculture, infrastructure, like civil survey,
Yeah.
autonomy, and geospatial, which is just like GPS.
Jeez, this sounds crazy hard.
Yeah, well, yeah.
What was your major then? Was it civil engineering? Yeah, that's no joke, yo.
Yeah.
That's like math.
Yeah.
I respect it though. Like I can't even come close to understanding. All that calculus is left in my brain. Just like the mic.
Honestly, the only reason they teach us that stuff is not to like. I don't use any calculus. I took calculus 1, 2, 3 differential equations. I don't use any of that.
There's no calculus in civil engineering?
There is, but what I'm doing right now, I'm not using it. Unless you're like really just designing.
Okay,
like,
yeah.
Like it just teaches you how to think, really.
Do you try to exercise to maintain your mathematic comprehension?
I mean, I tutor
because this stuff like goes immediately the moment you don't practice. Like
I tutor.
Tutoring, that's good. That's a good way to keep it. Yeah, that's a good way to keep it. Like my cousin actually this weekend was like, "Can you help me with the homework?" It was like basic algebra, like just matching functions.
Done it, so
I was like, "What is this? What is this hieroglyphs?" I really was, I can't believe he's like 12 years old doing crazy math that I can't do. Like it's embarrassing.
That's funny.
But then you give them the tablet to draw on, and they just like. We all got our skills, I guess.
Yeah. I really think that's true. Like
I just can't build bridges. I can't build bridges. You can't trust me to build a bridge.
Like, it's good when we don't all do the same thing. Like what kind of world would it be if we were all just like the same trick pony? We're all different one trick ponies.
Exactly. I think about that.
Tricks.
Like if the world was just full of Jelanis, we would collapse in 5 days. I'm like, I don't want to do all this.
I mean, I don't know about collapsing in 5 days, but I feel like with me it would be worse. I don't know. You got civil engineering? I feel like we can do a lot better. Wait, it's time to be real on the podcast.
Oh no, be real.
Yeah.
Doing this thing?
Nah, I haven't got. I told him I don't need any more social.
This is a good pick. Look at that.
Dude, that's a great thing.
That is.
But this is the realest app.
Yeah.
You can delete all of them. Just have this one.
But it's like I don't need to be on any of them. That's how I feel. That's how I really
true.
feel.
That's true. No, it's true.
So, it's already hard enough with like Instagram and Twitter.
That's the thing.
So
with my cousins, like they love the phones.
Yeah, and they're so young.
They're so young. They're like 1 year old, 2 years old, 3 years old.
Man.
Love. Like they couldn't stop snatching my phone, just trying to watch. Also, the thing that I find it kind of disturbing the stuff that kids watch today. Because back in the day, we used to watch like hand drawn, cutting cartoons.
Yeah.
But now it's all CG. It's like all computer animated, and it's like it's all like uncanny valley babies. Maybe the babies probably don't care, but when I see it, it looks like
it looks weird.
It looks weird, and
like,
also it's just too many white people.
Stuff.
So many white people. Like I'm no offense. Like there's a bunch of little baby black cousins. They're just watching all these little CG white people, families, and I'm like, can they make some for black people? And was like, it's here. It's just few and far between. And what we do is we leave it on autoplay. So you start with the black family and autoplay. You pick them, and then autoplay over time just becomes white again. Yeah. I'm like, yo, these kids. And then I asked my little baby cousin. She's like, she finds it more exciting and more engaging to engage on the screen with the little white character than the black character. It's like in her mind already. She's only 3 years old, about to be 4 years old. So the technology is super impressionable on these kids. It's like, it's wild. It's wild. But keep going on your job tangent. I'm sorry, we got caught up with the cousins.
Okay, so I just started I'm in my first rotation right now, and I am working with SketchUp, which is a design software. That's the group with, I guess, and I'm working with the technical support team specifically within SketchUp. So I like it a lot. It's going good. I'm not like answering. I'm not on the phone like doing. I was like, hello, phone like tech support or like on the computer. I'm kind of like, well, not kind of. I'm really doing like more of the behind the scenes. Yeah. Type of work, I guess. Like the tech support is behind the tech support, like working with like how can we improve the user interface? And, like how can we just resolve a lot of the same redundancies or like same types of issues that we have? How can we make those not so commonplace? Just by looking at data and trends.
You already lost me several times over. I'm just like, your job sounds hard for me. I don't know why.
Like you said, it's just.
It sounds like the kind of job. What do you call like Kaylee has at the lab? Like when she talks about it, I'm always like, oh yeah, but then I'm like, I don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which is respect. Which I respect.
Yeah, thank you.
And when are you gonna rotate next?
January. So
Are you gonna move?
Oh no, same here.
Same here. Okay, good.
Actually, there's a possibility I could have a rotation like internationally, or maybe just in like another state if I want to. If there's an opportunity that presents itself, but I'll probably be in Colorado still for my next rotation. But there is a chance I could have an international one. We'll see.
I mean, that's cool.
Oh, and then after that, after the rotational program, basically get to choose whoever within the company or whatever, like the 4 departments or sectors I worked in.
Oh, so it's like practice right now?
It's like a leadership
career development.
Career development.
Yeah. Okay.
That's exactly what
that's cool. That's a cool program. Though. I feel like I could use something like that.
When I was doing my business,
career development too. I wonder if they have that for pirate radio hosts.
Yeah. Well, hopefully one day it gets there. But what were you saying?
When I was doing my job search, because I knew about them prior, so like that's all I wanted. I wanted a rotational development program.
Who told you about this? Because nobody's ever told me about this. I didn't even know this thing existed before.
I heard about it during my past internship. Like they're a thing, like they exist. Like they're pretty commonplace actually. I didn't know that. But yeah, it's a great opportunity, you know, like instead of just sticking with one thing you may not even know you like. Rotate. And then I have some force too in like deciding which ones I'm gonna go in. And
that makes sense.
If I meet like a manager, if I want to get into like a project, I can just make a connection, like meet somebody and get it that way, you know. So it's like I have a lot to say in it, which is really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I guess going to college like for the engineering helps. I mean, where I study, like I found my own niche too, I guess. So we all find our niche. I did psychology though; it was completely different. But
psychology, painting, and clothing.
I know, but like I feel like
it's a good mix.
Internship thing. Like I didn't get it until like I had my first one, which was like just like assisting this professor, like and over the summer, like not even over the school year, and just watching her like prepare her class or syllabus. Do her like massive like archiving of books and different resources for kids to tap into. It's crazy. You just learn because she's so far ahead in the game. Like she's already like 60, 70, so she's like really advanced, and she's the head of the department in Columbia actually. And at that time, I was so convinced that psychology.
Oh, you went to Columbia?
No, I just interned with the professor. She's the head of transpersonal psychology over there. And just watching her and just talking to her, like picking up all the signs of what it's like to be deeply into this, I feel like even if I don't make it as artist, that's like a good fallback place. Because you can help people, truly help people. And so like, but there's so many issues there that I didn't know about until I like was with somebody who knows what it is.
Yeah. What is transpersonal psychology?
It's a bit woohoo sometimes, but it's like non-physical healing method. Sometimes it taps into like the intersection of like Buddhism and psychology and other spiritual traditions. So it's basically looking at how, because psychology, if you really think about it, it's not this like physical science. It's not like we're cutting up things that we do cut up the brain sometimes, but like the process of like therapeutic psychology, we're really talking about like abstract concepts. So it can get very much spiritual, I think. So I think it's crucial to have when you go into therapy, you talk about spirituality. You don't just talk about your trauma and how much this person or that person is responsible, because you don't really develop. I don't think you really develop personal growth fully or fast. I'm not saying it's discounted because I'm not fully an advanced psychologist yet, but in my opinion, I think you have to explore that dimension because it's part of the whole experience of becoming a person. It's like you can't deny. It's like life is forcibly spiritual. Like I don't know how you escape that. Like you can be mundane as you want, but even in your mundaneness, you're gonna find yourself.
There's lessons in everything.
Yeah.
It's all about perspective. That's what I always said. You can choose to perceive it. You can choose not to. You can choose to see there's a lesson in the game. You can just ignore it and think nothing of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just all about perspective.
It is. That's transpersonal. Like I'm telling you, it's a Naropa shit.
Did you go to Naropa?
Yeah. That's where I finished my degree.
Okay.
That's where I finished the degree.
That's where we all met.
Oh.
Yeah. Shout out Naropa.
Cool. Yeah. Seems like such a cool school.
It's lit. It's weird, but it's awesome.
Like it's an interesting intersection of like minds and ideas.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of Naropa, I might have art coming up there.
Oh, exciting! Big news.
More art.
Big news. More art.
Do the gunshots.
I don't have dates yet. I don't have dates yet, but Nalanda.
Big news.
What's the official name of that art gallery? Is this Nalanda Art Gallery?
There's a few different ones, so we can let them know.
Yeah, we'll let you know in detail later.
Exactly which one. There's like 3 different ones.
Oh, I should have set a timer.
Yeah, but I I think that the next topic that I had written down at least was you had said something about aliens.
Oh.
You had said you want to talk about aliens.
Yeah, I mean, I've been listening to this audiobook and just like diving deep into the world, like listening to theories, figuring out like world building aspects. The book is called Three Body Problem by, I think it's Chinese author Shishin Le. Shishin Le, I probably butchered that name. But the book is basically talking about like how the universe is like a dark forest. The reason why Fermi paradox exists, we think we're alone because the universe is so hostile towards one another that your only chance of survival is to be quiet and unseen because there are forces so much greater than you that have zero qualms wiping you out. So in this world, this kind of idea is weaponized. So humanity has their first ever contact with this one group of aliens called
Is this fiction or non?
fiction. This is sci-fi. This is all sci-fi.
This is non-fiction.
This is not. But the reason it's profound is you get so much like real life lessons from it because these authors are like futurists. You know, they're not just pulling it out of their ass. Like it's philosophy almost. And these aliens that we first encountered, the whole time I've been reading the book, never seen the aliens. They've never really described what they look like. It's almost like they're just this force of nature they're on their way. They've been traveling 400 years and they're coming to wipe you out. They know your location. And the way it's weaponized in this is like if a civilization reveals your location is akin to like nuking you. It's like because you're basically letting the world, everyone know that this is an advanced society here and they might be a threat. Because the universe has a hard time trusting one another because there's like this chain of kind of like, I guess you can call it, it's like, I forgot what it's called, a chain of kind of conflict that occurs or mistrust that happens when two societies come face to face. It happens amongst humans themselves. Like we don't really like buddy with other groups, especially back in the day. Like it's almost always hostile. And it's not until today we kind of understand our place as a global unit. And we still find conflict today, but the reason I wanted to bring this up, because I talked about this before, I think, in the podcast. Yeah. But in the book, I finally got into this like fourth kind of like extra book, which is kind of describing the world as a whole, kind of bringing you more into like up to speed what it was all about. Described what these aliens that were such a massive threat to humanity, like they were basically like light years advanced, more like about to decimate humanity. But then we find out that they're the size of rice.
Oh, wow.
They're literally the tiniest little things. And they know if they come face to face with humanity, that they would basically be wiped out because we're so much bigger. They're like bugs. Right. And in the book, there's only one human to have witnessed them physically. So they're such an unseen force, but yet so powerful. And only one person has seen them in the whole entire Earth history. And the book gets all the way into the end of humanity, basically. And what's interesting is like this was never revealed in the trilogy, but in this extra book, it's talking about what they look like, how they behave, and it's like too real to the point that kind of like scares me. Like we always think about aliens kind of reflecting ours, like they look like us almost with green eyes and shit.
Right.
Yeah.
But these things were like tiny little metallic like insectoid, like you know those like little microorganisms that live in the edge of space, like bears.
This little water bears.
The little water bears. They look. They're kind of have because they have these trisolarans can dehydrate their body and go into stasis and then rehydrate again, which is only found in certain aspects of nature here on Earth. It's a very rare thing. So I thought this shit blew my mind because people have such generic ideas about aliens, but this like twists and one of the weapons aliens possessed in this book. This is this crazy group I think they're called the Screamers or something. And they have the ability, they throw this like thin piece of paper. So if they want to destroy you, they just throw this like literally the size of a note card into your galaxy or into your solar system. This is what they did to Earth. They threw it into our solar system. You look at it, it looks like a just thin, very thin like note card. Next thing you know, that little thin note card flips the solar system into a 2-dimensional sphere, killing everybody. And only those that escaped, the humanity survived off a ship. Went to another place. But that's crazy. Like these people are so advanced, they can weaponize what it looks like to us. A little piece of, and it was so like the people when they experienced like their description is almost like kind of God earth shattering, like reality bending to the point where it was unfathomable. Like it describes it in almost like a trippy sense where I was like, aliens if they're real, they can be very incomprehensible type of shit.
Definitely.
Yeah. Which is wild.
Interesting to think about. It's like
I fill my brain with so much like light. I was like, whoa.
What's the book called?
The three body problem. And I hope I didn't spoil too much, but like the reason it's called is the aliens.
Well, I want to read it.
These are aliens are from a planet that has
spoil anything,
3
I
stars.
wanna read
This is no spoiler. No character. I'm not giving you no character details. No, and it's nothing. And even me, I'm still like, this world is so complicated. Like, I did like a listen through it, and I've been like diving deep into the world. There's many people online just like cutting it into pieces. So it's fun to like, it's like Dune. It's fun to understand how this like. For me, I want to one day build a world this rich, like with this, because these people like it didn't just happen overnight. Unless they're like crazy genius, they've been working on it like their whole lives, which is like it's worth it, I think. Yeah, 3 body problems. Shishin Le.
A good read.
Good
It's
read.
so interesting. It's so interesting the way that fiction, right, can help us understand all these really abstract things.
Oh, yeah.
Around the world, right?
It's crazy.
Like there's all this physics understanding, but it's like it doesn't actually quite like process right until you hear like a
Mm-hmm.
fictional, like it comes to life in
Exactly.
some kind of crazy fantasy thing.
Yeah, and we can like go as far we want with fiction. Is free, you know, like there's no constraints. So like if your mind allows it, you can really show us these ideas that I really be like sitting up at night thinking like I know some stuff, or like I like these new ideas are like coming less and less. But then I'll read something, I'll see something, and my mind is like, whoa, like how the hell did I not even close to think about that before? It's like the sea people thing. Like I study history for years, not like as like a scholar, but more like as a fan of history. But I take it all in, but never did I really puzzle like the whole sea people Bronze Age collapse until about like late 2021. And then my brain is like buzzing.
I know what that is. Yeah.
Oh, it's
our favorite.
yo, we gotta tell
It's
him,
our
yo.
favorite topic.
Yo, tell
Talk
him.
about it.
Well, pretty much what happened was during the Bronze Age collapse, right? Like there's all of these civilizations: the Assyrians, the Hittites, the Minoans, the
The Hittites, is that like the white people they were saying they were finding like other places?
They're like on the island of Crete, in the Mediterranean.
Hittites were,
Minoans.
Minoans are
Yeah.
Oh, I watched this TED talk yesterday about it.
Hittites are like Turkey.
Oh,
They
that
were
was
Turkey.
wrong though. I get it. Never mind.
Rongo?
No. He was describing a theory of the past that turned out to be wrong. And he
Oh.
was just explaining it to just describe, you know, like
yeah.
an
Yeah.
untold history. But yeah. But what were you saying?
So there was all these civilizations that collapsed around the same time. And they called the Bronze Age collapse. And one of the big things was that right weaponry and like at the time like the reason it was the Bronze Age, right, is because people were smelting bronze to make weapons, which requires I think it's tin
Copper.
and copper.
Yeah.
And that's you need like a lot of copper, and copper is relatively common. But to make it really hard and to forge it into bronze, you need tin, which is very, very rare.
Zagros Mountains in
Yeah,
Afghanistan.
so there's a few places
Yeah.
that have tin, and so it was,
British Isles has
the British
tin.
Isles. So there's like these trade networks kind of developed, and these societies developed around those trade networks, right? Where it's like, I mean, think about uranium. It's like whoever has the power who has the tin can have the power of having like this army and supplying people with weapons. But then iron technology started coming out, and people ended up being able to like forge weapons a lot more cheaper and more available, right? And so that disrupted the like the overall feeling of like the you know what I mean.
Yeah,
That disrupted that
The hierarchy, that
the
was the establishment. Yeah, the establishment got wrecked, essentially.
One huge part of this is that they're described as the sea people, but they're these people of this unknown origin who just arrive at places in boats,
Ragtag groups of people, basically.
and they would just crush it.
From the Eastern Mediterranean.
Yeah.
And like they wipe out Hittites, Egyptians were destroyed into a small form, Assyrian again
For
destroyed.
what?
Because again, like he says, like the elites of the time monopolized bronze weaponry to extent most people are slaves. Most people were like mistreated. Like you see Egypt, you see Assyria, those are slave empires. A lot of them, especially at their height. And it's not like they're good or bad. This is what it was. There was a lot of slavery in the past. So when this comes out, it's like a leveler. The iron weapon leveled the playing field almost, made it easier to access. And again, we don't know a lot about it's still like see people very mysterious.
Yeah.
Like we don't know. We don't know.
That's what's exciting about it, though.
Like
too.
they have
It's
names
like-
too. They're like, what is it like? What's the weird names they got? Like the
I can't remember any of them, but it's like the Pashamites, the
it's like
Marumians. Like,
Oh,
it's like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? It's all these names, and like you don't know where they're from. They couldn't.
Yeah.
You can't point it.
but
out.
they sound like
Some people
pirates.
have like
Essentially, sound like pirates, and they come and they basically wipe out like
Yeah.
established society at the time and recreate new
so
society.
they're like the original
Yeah.
pirate.
This is before the Rome, before Greek.
dang,
This is before
yeah.
Alexander. This is 1177 or roughly like BC. So after that, you start seeing like the Mycenaeans turn into like the more like Hellenistic Greeks. You see like later on like the Achaemenid Persians come around and like Assyria is diminished. Babylon is gone. I mean, Babylon's around, but Alexander comes and takes that shit too. Like all that happens way after the Bronze Age collapse, but nobody really talks about it. And I'm like, again, the reason this probably happened to me is I get caught up in the other like glitzy parts of history that we all like to look like to study. We don't really, but I think the see people thing is the most like. I feel like it should be talked about more. I feel like it's
really
underrated time period.
There's
you know?
a lot of underrated time periods. I feel like, and there's a lot of like things that we could feel excited about and we could be inspired by.
Oh yeah, Meshwesh.
Yeah, that's it.
They're like their name was like Meshwesh or Weshishta or Washish or something like that. It's very strange names. And I remember like there's a story about the Egyptian pharaoh Ramses III actually hired them as mercenaries at one point before they turned on him and kind of like diminished Egypt significantly. But Egypt rised again after that. But I believe Egypt only rose again because of the later Alexander and Hellenistic conquests and then Romans.
Yeah,
it was never
really the Ptolemaic.
Yeah, it was never the same after the Bronze Age collapse till they came around. But they were also obsessed with reviving old high Egyptian culture. So like if you look at a lot of Egyptology, the reason we have so much preservation is because of the Hellenistic Greeks that came in and with their like devotion and obsession with Egyptian history and culture, they've preserved so much, which is why it's kind of beautiful, I think. Because there's a lot of mixing that happens up there. Like everybody's mixing, everybody's smashing each other and killing each other, and everybody's involved. I feel like the Mediterranean is like where everything biblical, like for at least the Western standards, has happened, and it involves like so many, like Asia, Europe, and Africa. That's 3 big continents. That's not like, and people discount certain people's roles in that history, but I think it's beautiful and massive because it involved such a diverse array of people. And people like of all looks and shapes were at their heights and at their lows. And you study history, you become less victimized by it because you know the phases of history and how certain groups literally come from nothing, take over everything. Like I remember
it's happened like more times.
Well, yeah, like the Slavs did it. The Malmuks in Turkey and Egypt did it. Like. There's so many examples of slavery or people who were completely subjugated to come up and rise.
Or whatever,
see people. Yeah. It happens in so many places. It's like hard to count. So I feel like you can take so much hope. You can take so much hope from history.
Yeah, things happen in waves. It's really crazy.
Should we talk about the Woman King?
The Woman King? Let's talk about the Woman King.
There's a controversy about it right now that I want to talk about. So I was on like Twitter. I'm not really on Twitter that much. I only went on Twitter because there was a video I was watching about this controversy caused by this movie. And essentially the movie is kind of like your, sort of like Gladiator, Braveheart type historical movie. It's supposed to represent real history. And the time period it's representing is like West Africa. I think it was the 17th century during slavery, Atlantic slave trade time. And it's about like, let's just say the movie itself is about a group of African warriors who are all women who serve this king. I think they're called what do they call them? I should know this. No, I'm good on that. The Woman King. Yeah, the Dahomey. Yeah. So this is the tribe. And it's West Africa. I think it's old Benin or Congo. But in the book, they're kind of like the liberators of slaves. They go around fighting like Europeans, like enslavers, freeing. Like I haven't seen the movie yet, but the movie kind of rewrites history because the real history of the Dahomey tribe and West African slavery, the culture at the time was vicious. Like there was Europeans not only buying in slaves for cheap from African kings and African like rulers, but Africans were selling each other to one another. You had African rulers betray other Africans, sell them to each other, sell them to Europeans. It was all messed up. So the history was not as glitzy and glamorous as the movie presents it to be. And the all-women army were actually supposed to have come about at the result of all the men being kind of killed off. So the lack of men brought about these women. And the lead, Viola Davis, her character...
To the children.
You whiskey boy. So the leader of the army, the Viola Davis, I feel like I was looking at some quotes of her real life character, and she was sound like a savage. She was like cutting heads off, licking the blade.
Whoa.
But what I find confusing is a lot of people have strong opinions now that this movie should not go be seen because it's like revisionist history and it's like glorifying black on black violence and it's like, you know, bringing light to these villainous people in a way that. And I'm like, yeah, whoa. Why do white people get to do that? Why can't we do that?
Exactly.
Why people do that shit? You think Gladiator? You think Gladiator was like Braveheart? You motherfuckers were all brutal. Everybody was brutal in the back. Like I get it. Like a lot of people want to be like, you know, what's the word? Politically correct, and this kind of thing gets into even the black community. Like this is all happening on Black Twitter. Black people want to cancel this movie. I think this movie should happen because it's happened before with many other people. Mulan, like, come on, like, we should have, even if it's fantasy, like, we should just, like, I want to see that. I want to see black girls see that and feel like, because they're doing some crazy ninja shit.
My sister, she saw the movie with my mom. She said she left that movie theater crying.
Yes, I'm telling you, like, it's stupid to me. It's people overanalyzing, thinking they're profound. It's not profound.
No, Woman King.
What, do you want us to make a movie about how they eat and, like, chop heads off and lick the blade? Like, no, everybody was doing that. It wasn't something that you only found in West Africa. You go to China, like what happened in Nanking.
Heads on stakes,
people, you go to Romania, what they were doing, like Vlad. How much we glorify vampires and Vlad the Impaler, like how brutal he was. Why can't we have this revisionist history that gives light to us in a positive way? Maybe this is rewriting, giving it a different frame. It doesn't matter the truth.
Well,
I think
what
it is.
Some fun here, right?
Some fun, some art, and everybody else gets to partake. I don't know why we got. It's like Black Panther. Like it's like Black Panther. Let it happen. Let it be fun. You know.
Exactly.
But everybody wants to be like, oh, glorifying blackout. Like you know how many cool movies white people are killing white people. Like we just want to see this shit. Like you seen Point Break? That's a lit ass movie. They like bank robber white dudes killing each other like in the sky, parachuting and shit. It's a good movie. Yo. I think it's silly. I think people are just way too over. Oh, look, the reviews have gone down, I think.
Oh, really?
Oh, damn.
Because last time I looked, the reviews were like 94, 90 something. Yeah.
Really
Now, what is it?
Well, IMDb is only 6.1. But Rotten Tomato is still 94.
Uh-huh.
Rotten Tomato is still 94. I can't wait. I'm going to go see it on Tuesday.
Isn't it crazy how, like, we'd actually, I think we were talking about something earlier where we were talking about the culture of the internet, and the memes that, like, that get created, you know?
Yeah.
I've gone down such a rabbit hole with memes.
Oh, really?
Oh
Bro.
my gosh.
Meme culture, is that the new topic?
We had, I can't remember, we had some, like...
We did.
Planned.
Wait, did you write that down?
I just wrote memes.
Wait, I asked like a hypothetical. I remember. I was like...
What I have written is, how to be cultured with the internet, ? Memes, ?
Oh, I remember.
Okay.
I was like, this is the question. I was like, do you think the stakes of have gone up higher for what it means to be cultured now? Since most of us have access to so much culture, like it's crazy. Like the music, we go Spotify, you have every music ever. Yeah. You have internet, you look up any movie, any art. You can do so much with so many things. Back in the day, people used to walk around like really well versed, like they were connoisseurs, they were well traveled, they were well read. People were like on some like you can really like kind of carry yourself in a different way if you went out and kind of like expose yourself to things. Because most people sheltered themselves or they were caught up in survival. So like it really was something to be a connoisseur or to be an enthusiast or a hobbyist or somebody who went out and experienced culture and engaged with it and became kind of like enriched by it, you know? So nowadays we're all super enriched by the culture that's being created constantly. But do you think like for us to kind of, because this thing doesn't just happen to show off how cultured you are, it also allows you to access new ways of relating to culture that is actually beneficial to the greater society. Like these kind of cultural figures, critics, or people who engage with culture in this way and kind of allow us to relate to it in higher ways are, I think, important kind of people. So do you think that stakes have gone higher now, like for people to really shift your mind? Because everybody has opinions now. Everybody knows everything about all so much. Like how do you really bring on like a new level of kind of like relating to somebody like the depths of things? So because a lot of people scratch the surface all the time because we're so overexposed to so much information. So what do you have to do to kind of like, or is that even possible?
Well, you
I mean, I feel like it's just you can willingly or unwillingly, choose to stay in your own bubble or whatever.
Yeah.
Plenty of people still do that.
Yep.
But yeah, I feel like it's definitely easier to get out of that bubble and, to actually get a real world view of things just by watching different media outlets, viewing different opinions, whether they're ones you don't agree with, and of course ones you do agree with, just, see the full spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
But that is also a lot of work. Like, I'd say I'm pretty cultured, but I can't say that I'm, doing my best to read the most. I don't know, news, but not even just news, like, just actually trustworthy information, not just...
Yeah.
It's hard to sort out the good from the bad.
Yeah, there's a lot of trash out there.
But yeah, so like,
What's
just
the saying,
educating
the
yourself
wheat
in
from the
world.
chaff?
Mm-hmm.
Chaff?
The wheat from the chaff.
The chaff.
Mm-hmm. A lot of chaff.
A lot of chaff.
A lot of chaff.
A lot of chaff, not much wheat.
Yeah.
But that's why the question is like...
It's just how much effort you put in.
Yeah.
Like how much you really care.
But I also think that there's another level to that too, which is that, right, on the internet, because of the internet, there's all these different echo chambers, right? Like, there's there's Black Twitter, there's White Twitter, there's all these different groups. There's like,
Basketball Twitter.
Yeah, we're telling jokes and we're getting cultured in these little areas.
Yeah.
But then there's like the extreme rabbit holes, like the crazy conspiracy theories, like the
Ben Shapiro rabbit hole.
Well, not even like even like farther than that, right? There's like
Earth is flat.
Way farther, yeah, flat Earth.
The moon landing didn't happen. Holocaust deniers. 9/11 deniers.
And so a lot of these, it's like you will be respected in these little groups if you have these opinions. And
Yeah.
But from the outside, like most people will be like, okay, that's a little.
You're
crazy.
fringe. You look fringe.
Yeah.
You look mad fringe to the outside.
And I mean, I even think that's true, like to an extent, with like
the alien stuff?
Or no, just like
the sci-fi
Tumblr
stuff?
or like Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
Right. It's
I
like,
mean, Tumblr had its mainstream peak, though.
It's already.
Now it's just this, like, niche-ass thing that only the purists would probably engage with.
Right.
But, like, I think that's a good point, though, because a lot of people, like, have this, like, echo chamber they occupy where everything's kind of, like, serves them well. But I think I'm asking, or I'm saying, is it possible to have someone who's not stuck in an echo chamber and who can actually... give us some nuggets of from like every position, because people like need to have a drastic overview of what the internet is and how it's impacting us and what culture really is and what is valuable in this, like who's gonna find the biggest treasure, basically. The biggest, like, because that's what people have done for so long. Like the amount of times we benefit from people who reflect on culture and give us their feedback, not just critics, but also people who just show their enthusiasm. They show their love and appreciation, and they like the collectors in art are so important, because they are the ones who give value to the artist. They pay money, they invest in the artist. They're investors. Same thing with the connoisseurs of like antiques or whatever. Like it helps out people who know the value of things, and it's not just everything is surface. And I was wondering when the internet is going to get to that place where we can get niche, higher level of this kind of connoisseurship.
I think it's starting right now.
Not just
I don't
NFTs.
know how long it's going to take, though. I mean, NFTs is only another rabbit hole, right? Like, this picture of the monkey, make this your profile picture. Trust me. It's ridiculous.
Scammers.
I mean, and it all, like, I think that shit, like, I remember when, like about a year ago, everyone was acting like the NFTs is going to be the biggest thing ever. Mm-hmm. You're not going to stop hearing about it. Now you don't hear that very much, right?
Ghost.
People don't really...
Cricket.
Most of the time, people talk about NFTs, they're making fun of NFTs.
Exactly, yeah.
Now, like, right, there was a certain period where it was like the hype just like got over, like
everyone was
like
investing in your favorite round.
It was just a giant scam, yo. I'm telling you. That's what technology today really... I don't want to pivot too much, but I just want to say quickly, technology is too scammy for me nowadays, I feel like. Like, do you remember when we got an iPod Touch? Every app, when it was free, was free.
Yeah.
Nowadays, when an app is free,
I remember I had to start paying for apps. I was like,
no, you can't believe. Like, I was trying to get my cousins to play like these children's game, like 4-year-old, like toddler games. Mm-hmm. So I'm downloading these toddler games, free ones, just like little like make a pizza, little stupid simple ones. I gave it to her. She's playing, and in the middle of her making her little sauce, a little ad comes up for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And she doesn't know what's going on. She's just clicking everything. Like, why are you putting ads for the kids?
Yeah. Right. And a lot of times the ads for those games are like little micro games.
Yeah, and she was playing the little micro games, and then she almost clicked pay for once. There was like a little like, do you want to get the pizzeria dinosaur pack where you can be in a dinosaur themed pizzeria for $29.99?
That's insane.
I was like, these people are scums of the earth.
You could get a real pizza for that much. Like, give me
apps are whack to me, yo. Like, I will only pay for. I'm never downloading a free app, and even the paid apps have freemium shit in them.
Why are we paying?
Bro, that I think is the death of like cell phone applications, yo. Like, it's garbage.
That's true. There's too much.
I'd rather pay $60 for a game.
Too much.
Yeah,
and it's decreasing the value of the product.
To the kids. To the kids.
Yeah.
You try to make a kid pay $29.99 for dinosaur pack? Oh my god.
Do you want to know something? I've heard like a lot of cases where like, you know, it's like this kid buys a $2,000 on Clash of Clans.
You know, it's so
with his
funny.
mom's like,
my best friend, one of my best friends,
that's a disgrace.
$400.
Yeah,
that's a disgrace.
On Clash of Clans.
That's the kind of she almost bought the yo.
That's what they're hoping for. That's their meal ticket.
The older one will probably know how to pay for it. Once you get to 10 years old, like they know they know how credit cards and stuff work. They'll buy the apps.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like TikTok. I was learning this week about how nefarious TikTok is to young girls. Like there's a lot of young girls on TikTok kind of like making lots of money by doing really like sexually suspect things to adult men on TikTok. Like it's all coded language in there. There was a whole video made for parents because there was like, parents, watch out, TikTok. And watch out for your kids on TikTok because it's a big problem. Like literally a little girl, 13, 15 years old, can go on there. It doesn't have to get like explicit, but like to show her foot or to show her back or whatever. Somebody will like, if you want me to cash app you on this other app, why don't you just, you know, go like they use that as like a way to get in, you know? Yeah, and they're giving them real money. Like they're giving little kids hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars at times. And these desperate men don't care. They're just like, they're like pigs. They're sick. So they'll give them money. And I feel like TikTok is like, it's bad. Like for the kids. I think it's, I'm not trying to be alarmist. I think it's bad.
I don't think it's good for the children because I think that one thing I really think about a lot is like development, like understanding the world while you're doing that.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like now, it's one thing for us as like, you know, adults to kind of be like, okay, how did it exactly just... but on the other hand, I mean, we all kind of grew up with some level of the internet, right?
I mean, I didn't have it until I was 15, 16, though.
Right, but that was still 15, 16. You're like the tail.
I was still a teenager, yeah.
Yeah. So you at least you less than us probably. I mean, you grew up.
But it's getting extreme now. I feel like kids are already onto more extremes now, quicker.
It's more extreme. It's more extreme for this generation.
I remember like porn was a big thing. Like I was like, whoa. Like I remember seeing porn. I was at a haircut place and I saw a magazine. Like that shit blew my mind.
That's the shit that would blow me up.
I didn't even know what that was. And now kids are like, at like 6, 7 years old, 10 years old. They're like every day they know how to use it. It's kind of crazy how they know how to just go on there like that.
And they'll learn. And it's crazy how like fast they learn.
It's like intuitively there. Yeah, I don't. It's like your grandma don't know nothing about the phone, but somehow the 2-year-old, 3-year-old knows how to use it. It's it's weird how kids are. It's like the same thing with the kids in my house. They know multiple languages because they somehow just pick it all up. They can speak English and Amharic and speak it to the people they need to speak it to. You know what I mean? So it's like kids are little geniuses.
Yeah, kids are like, when it comes to language, kids are like,
crazy.
It actually is kind of freaky, I think, how good kids are with language. Like it's really an amazing thing. And actually, I think that language is a huge, right, if we're going to talk about rabbit holes and like this group, that group, one of the biggest dividers is language, right?
Yeah.
Like, because we can, when we log on to the internet, right, we are united with everyone in the world.
Yeah.
That speaks the same, that posts in that language.
You're right, yeah, right? You're right, yeah.
Right, so there's a lot of like little, like small pockets for smaller like groups of languages and really big pockets.
Big pockets, other languages like Chinese. You know what's going on Chinese internet? Yeah, it's crazy.
Right, there's some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And there's like
Russian internet,
Spanish internet, Russian internet. Like there's a lot going on, and not everything's translated. That's one thing I think that I feel like I was lied to by the internet because they say
it's global.
They're like. The entire world will be at the touch of your fingers in an instant. Any question you want, like how many times have you heard this? With the internet, everything.
It's reductionist.
Everything we have, and all of human achievement is available to me at the touch of a button on my smartphone. That's not fucking true. Half the time you can't find what you're looking for. The other half it's
lies.
Wrong.
It was lies or fake news or just WebMD telling you some bullshit.
It's not like it doesn't really help you that much. And it.
I miss Internet Explorer.
There's like a lot of false stuff. Yeah, Internet Explorer.
Those are the golden age of internet where you can find real answers. to real questions. Now we just got DuckDuckGo.
DuckDuckGo.
But this is actually, I don't know if this is gonna be this I feel like a good transition to tech
We talked about pizza once. No,
tech monopolies.
Pizza? Yeah, right.
I feel like tech monopolies are becoming a big problem today because back in the day you used to have like corporational monopolies, like who was it? JP Morgan? No. Rockefeller maybe? Back in the like industrial days, there was like three big
in the Gilded Age,
and it was like preventing growth. Like overall it constrains growth, and I feel like the same thing is kind of now happening with like Apple, Amazon, and
Amazon, definitely.
Apple, Amazon, who's probably like Google, yeah. Apple, Amazon, Google.
Facebook.
Those are the
Meta.
Facebook, Meta. Those are the four dark horse.
They're going downhill,
Those are the four dark horses of the apocalypse, I think, because they're stifling growth on all levels,
Right.
even towards creators that are like designing applications. Like the Apple, the way they've set it up, they take 30% commission on any applications that are submitted to their because you can't go on the website and download a application.
Yeah.
And John Oliver had a good episode about this actually, where he talked about like
Johnny.
how much is it's a disservice and breaking them up. They just broke up AT&T too recently because AT&T was becoming too big.
Well, I mean,
Oh yeah, it was already like that in the South and it was Bell
Yeah.
South.
Bell Corporation was founded by Alexander Graham Bell, the inventor of the telephone.
Was he the bell curve too?
That was
He sounds
that
like-
racist fella.
I don't know. He sounded like
But
it was the same time period. I had to ask.
but the Bell Corporation, right? Like that was like it got divided. Like I think you're right, north
Yeah.
or south. I
So
can't
it was a
remember exactly
monopoly.
what it is. It was a monopoly,
Well,
so it
I'm
got
from the
broken
South,
up.
so maybe we just had Bell South because that's where I was.
Yeah, but yeah, they're all like
I hope I'm in
it's all they all used to be the same company.
Mm-hmm.
AT&T, anything with Bell, they all used to be the exact same company, and now it's like, how well broken up is this monopoly? It's like, it's not exactly like a lot of free growth in my opinion. But hey, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of questions there. I think.
I think it's dangerous because what's the point of like, any kind of technological progress if you just have these big sharks floating around,
Right.
preventing other people from swimming? It's like
Yeah, I mean,
it's boring. It's boring.
Yeah, there's a huge thing of like a lot of this corporate, just like all of this corporate money. A lot of it is just I don't see it as obviously it doesn't help growth, and it's like I think it definitely hurts like people, and it's like maybe it's technically good for the economy, but I don't think it's at all good for
For
people.
the people, exactly, yeah. Just disenfranchising us at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Rich get richer.
It's boring. It's boring, and I feel like
Stay thin.
I feel like a lot of the times this kind of thing happens, and what it leads to is this like these companies becoming like almost technocratic. Like they start having ideas, like they want to start doing like transhumanist activity, like trying to social experiment, mess with society, like figure out what's gonna make us optimal, or in their words, optimal, and start screwing.
Put us
I was
electric
watching
Yeah, sit your ass down. Nobody needs that. Like you don't even know what you're doing. Like people don't even know what's going on. They become mindless entities, corporations, and then now they try to like tell you how to live. Tell you how to live. Like you don't know how anybody should live. Like these corporations need to step back. These tech companies need to step back, and everybody needs to realize how dangerous they actually are, because they are. Like I could give up my phone tomorrow. I don't care. Would you? I would.
tomorrow.
Because these people are. I think they're evil.
I just need a phone.
I mean, I'm not
a
going to commit to
smartphone.
doing that, but
Honestly, if I had like a phone, like a smartphone with like the same type of interface as like an iPhone, but I could just text and call, I'll get them out. They probably already have that.
I don't
well,
need
the
it.
thing is, I think is that we need the efficiency of the technology without all of this like evil buying stuff.
Exactly.
Like I want to
Like-
be able to be efficient, and I want to be able to do this.
Yeah.
I could leave the junk, right? And I think that that's what we need.
I
Like
just hate how many
it's-
ads. It's like meant to be
Yeah.
addictive now. Like it's trying to keep you trapped.
It's
let's-
terrible, yo.
let me get something where I can use the technology.
They're abusing your brain neurons. They're
Not
using
like
your
you're trying to-
neurons against
You're
you.
trying to like spy on me through the damn thing.
They spying on you.
Prank me into
They try to sell you all the time.
to
It's like,
buy
oh.
some like
Like, we're
fucking
literally
special
cattle.
paper towels on.
There's no
Yeah.
relationship between like the customer and like the company. At least on this level, like we're literally
Yeah.
just cattle.
Yeah, and the thing that's crazy. These companies like want a virtue signal all the time. Like they'll deplatform, cancel people for speaking about certain things because they think they have moral superiority. I'm not saying people should say crazy things or they should be not like argued back against. But if you're out here just kind of like thinking you have moral grounds over people and you can kind of marshal that and deplatform people without letting people engage with it and figure out on the ground floor, which is more beneficial than just like, because this kind of idea, it just creates more extremes for people. People just got to do more crazier things to get noticed, to get attention, because you're cutting them off, putting them in, like this Trump thing, it got worse. Yeah. There's more Trump fans now than ever because you decide to cut him off from the internet and make him this boogeyman.
Because now
it's stupid.
Now he's like kicking him off Twitter, right? Like now he's on his own app.
Yep.
Where everyone agrees with it.
Alex Jones is another one. Like,
right. So
these people are pathetic. Let them just die on their own. Like I don't understand this whole.
We need to. I think that censorship is an important thing because it's like, look, obviously I don't think. I mean, well, I was actually just watching the ABBA and Preach. I don't know if you know ABBA and Preach.
Hey, I love it.
Kareem is a big fan.
Shout out ABBA and Preach. ABBA, my Ethiopian brother. That's my Ethiopian brother right there.
They had this video, and they were like, they had been talking about like the whole Andrew Tate thing.
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, like
because it's like Andrew
he's gonna
Tate
come back worse.
Well, the thing is, I remember like when like the first rap, like we've been doing this for like almost 10 years now, right? We cancel people for being like for saying bad things on the internet because we think will help. Then there's like some, and it's really true that like then there just appears like this more subversive. Like we're really just reading more subversive, more like
extremes,
stealthy, extreme, insane people.
Yeah,
that's all we're doing here.
Like that Andrew, what's his name? Andrew Tate guy is ratchet.
He's
ratchet. Like the kind of guy that you gotta learn.
He's echoing like a lot of the things that people got canceled for saying years and years ago.
Yeah.
But it's just that his version is much worse. Like.
But you see what they've allowed him to be powerful somehow. They've allowed somebody that ratchet, that pathetic, to become a voice of the people. Like that's what you. And then now you're gonna make it worse by like cutting him off. And these people.
He's a martyr.
He's gonna become like it's crazy. Yo. Like that guy's pathetic. He would have died out on his own. He would have. Because there's how many
we're better off like how many getting roasted than having like
cutting them down like real life on the ground floor.
The way that you'd have to deal with people like that is you need to like publicly humiliate them, right? Like it's like
put in your place.
I don't mean like do something like give him a wedgie.
Well, he is also a criminal. He seems like a criminal kind of guy too.
Yeah, I mean like he needs to get called out. He needs to get persecuted for the criminal activity if he's doing so, right? Like
a Romania heading out over there, they're doing suspect shit. Like, bro, you sus, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. And it's probably gonna get worse, or somebody worse than him is gonna come around. Hiding out in Lithuania or something. What the? Oh, let's see what time we're at.
Are you doing a what?
Oh, look, we're almost getting to the hour, I think.
No, we're 2/3. We're 2/3.
You know when it's gonna cut out, though, right?
I do.
Oh, you do. Okay, that's all we need. That's all we have to worry about.
It's
Also, do you have it so the phone calls don't cut you off?
Yes.
Perfect. We learning, guys.
We're learning.
We growing. We growing out here. I'm trying to do a one-hand blunt. Ain't working. Whoa.
No, that's crazy. And well, one thing that also I was in the ABBA and Preach video was that they were like they had been saying that, and then like H3 like was like, I can't believe ABBA and Preach. Oh, what a bunch of morons.
That dude's also kind of like,
And then like,
why don't you lick your own balls, man? It's crazy.
And like, dude, I used to like him, but like now it's like I don't know.
You did? Bro, I thought he was.
I never loved him.
Dude, I thought he was
never my favorite, but I thought it was like, oh, he's okay.
I seen clips of him, and I always just assumed he was like that kind of like talking head, political. That Steven Crowder. Like whenever I see those types of people, like even whatever they lean left, right, I don't care. Like I see their heads talking like that, I get out, because the way they're just like.
No, and I never was one. I had friends who would watch him. Really was the thing. Like, I think my friend Young Greg. He was a big fan.
People say he did get used better before.
I think he was better before. Now he's like he's all the fame has like become huge and it's gone to his head and stuff. But he was saying like to retort like ABBA Preach. He was pretty much saying what we were just saying about like
dude, the
censorship. Can become an issue. And maybe it's not the best response because like. It does when you're banned from somebody from talking on your platform, it kind of makes you look like you're scared of them.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and that's a big thing. If the message that we're getting is that like we're scared of Andrew Tate, like that's not an acceptable message to be giving about Andrew Tate. We cannot be scared of Andrew Tate.
People
Andrew
look up to
Tate
that kind of
is,
thing.
like don't because what he says is wrong.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not like, oh, I'm scared. It's so tempting. I think I might listen.
Mm-hmm.
He's just saying like some of the worst things we've ever heard.
Exactly.
It's nothing special about him in that. It's just a lack of moral development of him is why he's saying that.
Fan base. They'll grow out of him in like 3-4 years at the most.
Yeah. But like H3H3 was saying about it. He was like that he just needs to get canceled and blah blah blah, and he just needs
It's too simplistic.
And it's too simplistic. And then he's saying like he was saying to Abba and Preach, he was like, oh, well, what if the KKK was on Twitter?
Oh yeah, that was
like,
so whack. I hate when white people do that. Like,
it was,
what if they were the KKK? Like, trying to bring it to your like. This basically saying you stupid. It's basically saying you stupid. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, you don't understand it until we make it about a race thing.
The thing was that he would, anytime H3 was talking about somebody black he was disagreeing with on the Andrew Tate, he would respond with, well, what if it was the KKK? And like,
going
that was the
extremes,
only
quick.
thing he could think to say about it.
Dude,
It was just like,
that
what are we
happens a
doing
lot
here?
when you argue with white people. I'm telling you, they try to like frame it in that way. So like they try to frame it in that way to
It's
let
the way-
to
like
let you know like,
liberal.
hey, I know you're stupid, but if I make it sound like the extremes you understand,
Minority.
this is an extreme you get. It's like,
You want more?
Oh no, I'm good.
oh, you got me confused. It's
No,
like
sorry.
it's talking with extremes just to make people feel like they're not really intelligent. That's what I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But also, what I found to be like cringy on that thing was his panel was also a bit like whack. They were all just like so.
Yeah, no,
They were-
he was surrounded by yes men.
Yeah, they were so like ready and willing to just completely like
Like, you gotta have some
disdain.
people
They had
that
such
will
disdain in their
be
voice and
pure
face.
gay.
Like you think these people were like in heaven somewhere with gavels. Like they had real judgment. Like no, you a loser. Come on, bro. Like why you acting like you have any sort of lauding over people? You know, 'Cause
Yeah,
his little hosts ticked me off. I was like, their attitude sucks.
Yeah,
Like
no,
they don't even know what they're talking about. Like
Like
they,
H3H3 still?
yeah.
I used to watch him, but I kind of got like a weird. Like I just started. I just started not fucking with him. Basically, like similar reasons. I was like, yeah.
I never fucked that. That
dude always
seem corny to me.
No, he's definitely always corny. I was just like, yeah, I don't know. It's like I feel like there's a weird thing with YouTubers where, there's always like YouTuber drama, right, between different YouTubers.
Mhm.
Oh, this guy's talking about this guy. That guy's talking about that guy.
I hate that.
Blah
shit,
blah
bro.
blah. Like, and then there's like who defends who, and if you defend like the friend of my enemy of my enemy is my friend, blah blah. Like, and like there's an element of that. I don't know, and so like there's YouTube politics like now, and I think it's just kind of like the most bizarre fun thing.
Bro.
Like
you don't go outside.
like I feel like all YouTubers should be friends. Like you're pretty much you all have the same job.
I should let this dry
You're
out.
coworkers. Oh wait, set a timer. You have the tradition that whenever you roll a blunt, you set a timer.
So it dries because I be licking that shit up.
Yeah, do what you gotta do.
It tastes good though.
I want some pizza, man. I can't lie. I was thinking.
We're gonna have to get some pizza.
We should wrap it up soon. I feel like we're getting to that time.
Yeah.
No,
The only other there's two other topics, and then I think we can call it good.
no, trying to rush anybody though.
Yeah.
Can we save the blunt until after we're done? I don't think my corporate America job. Would,
Yeah, no, we should wait. No, we should wait. They don't care about the whiskey?
Shit, fuck no.
Wow.
I probably don't care about the blunt. Honestly, it's just like why.
It's probably good for all of us to not smoke the blunt on camera, maybe.
Yeah.
Shout out Colorado, I guess. We out here. What's the
we're
other two?
artists. We can do anything we want.
Oh yeah, we old men. So what's the
You know
other
what's
topic?
crazy? You know what's crazy actually? I want to be able to retire if I want to by the time I'm 40. I don't want to have to wait till I'm 40 because that seems weird. I already told you I want a neck tat, but
At 40?
Nah, not at 40 though. It's just like white collar like job, woo woo. I probably shouldn't do that.
You wear a
But
suit?
I want to. I
You
don't
wear-
wear a suit. I don't wear a suit. I wear jeans and a t-shirt every day.
Oh, okay.
Honestly. Like
Okay.
that's why it's a very laid back work environment. But that's not the case everywhere. But
Yeah.
still, no one's walking around like neck tats and nothing, face tats. But it's like I just hate that tattoos are stigmatized, you know.
Yeah,
It's less and less though. I feel like neck probably, but like if you get an arm, like I feel like I have a lot of
easy. Like,
coworkers with tattoos. Yeah, everybody has arms. No, but I'm saying like even like our like when I was at Sarah Lawrence, like the professors would have tattoos. Like I feel like you can get
the tattoos.
Yeah.
Now it's the neck.
doctor. Like
the
dude,
face,
I went to get a physician.
Like fingers and hands. I think
My physician has tattoos, like crazy, like ayahuasca ones. Like it's crazy.
sounds
Yeah.
like a good physician.
He's cool. He's
I'm
cool.
gonna
Give
get
you
a
any
neck
good
tat, though.
medicine?
I might just not give a fuck one day.
I don't need medicine.
I'm gonna just do it regardless.
I mean, I think you could get away with it.
I definitely could.
Like it wouldn't be that
I just
noticeable.
don't know what I
too.
want to get yet either. Especially when my beard starts to grow out, I could just get some, you know.
Some.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
see. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, once you're more, I feel like once you're free, you can do that.
Yeah.
Once you're rich, balling, you get all the. I'm gonna get all the tattoos.
Well, like I am, what I'm envisioning on your neck.
Hey,
is
yo.
It's like a snack.
Whoa.
I don't mean
Sorry. Go ahead.
He's like a snake,
Uh
and then the snake is coming out of like, a beaver's mouth, and then
huh. Wow.
and like then there's like the whole animal family. The
Jesus.
animal kingdom is making a necklace. Like,
Yo, no, do not get that.
there's a war.
Do not get that. That's some Noah's Ark around your neck. Nah.
Noah's Ark. That's biblical. That's the best.
Around my neck? Nah.
No, around his neck.
Nah. Maybe.
You, I'll tell you what I've seen.
Plus, you're gonna look like you have a choker on. You don't want that.
Why not?
I think you should get.
What if he's a Kid Cudi?
You should just get it. You should just get the ark just right here. with the little dove on your like right
You
here.
know they tried building an ark in Kentucky.
For real?
I think in
Fucking
Kentucky.
It can't be that hard.
Somewhere near there.
It can't be that hard though.
No, but they ran out of money.
I feel like if they can do it 6,000 years ago, we can do it today, right? If Noah can do it with his family,
Yeah, no, definitely.
I can do it with this the boys.
Let's start building. Let's start building, fellas.
son.
Fuck retiring at 40.
Noah didn't even have the boys with him. It was just him and his family. Like I don't know how much
They just did that.
Or his
was it him and
he
his
had,
son?
like,
Oh, it was
Shem,
Shem and Ham.
and Ham. And
Yeah.
Ham.
Did you hear why white people did that story? They try to
Oh, I
make
know,
it
I've
so
heard
like
all
black
about
people are cursed.
They were
Because see,
saying
there's the
black
curse of
people
ham.
ham.
Yeah.
They say we come from ham or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm like, you come from Turkey, bitch.
Ham.
It's calling ham, fool. Son.
But yeah, there's the Shem, and then there's somebody else too. Isn't there?
There's a ham, shem, shmam,
O block.
oblak. No. Anyway, I'm a God-fearing Christian, but you know, the Bible
It's a good
is
story. I think it's a good story.
the Bible is. I don't know. I mean, the Old Testament.
I should get fear God tatted right here.
Wow, I would respect that. I would respect
So you
that.
should get suffer or die.
Jesus, I feel like I've seen that before. There was a girl with a tattoo that said it was like on her neck or her I forgot what it was, but it was like, I suffer every day for you. I'm like, who? It was so intense. It was like, yo, and it was like a little blood drop onto a rose, and the rose was
Somebody
in
broke her heart.
the rose was in a rock.
Dang.
Dude, I can't remember what it was. I saw somebody saying like they had like the teardrop tattoo, and they're like trying to get a job. And they're like, actually, sir, it's not a teardrop. It's a sweat drop. I'm such a hard worker.
Is that verified? The teardrop that is murder?
I mean,
Because Kevin Gates got one.
yeah. Well, he's
We were just
talks
watching
about killing people too.
But I mean,
Kevin Gates. That was one of. That was
I don't think he's a real murderer. You think he's a murderer?
I don't think he's a murderer.
I think he's a sweetheart.
I don't know. I think he's definitely a sweetheart.
I think he's a sweetheart.
I don't think.
It's just the look. It's just the look.
I mean, I don't know. He's from
At this
Baton
point,
Rouge.
even Uzi got a
That's
teardrop.
That's where I was earlier this week.
Really?
Yeah.
Baton
We were
Rouge?
just watching a Kevin Gates podcast before you came in.
Yeah, he's hilarious,
a
yo.
funny
I love Kevin
Yeah,
Gates.
he was gone Naropa mode, yo. He's gone.
It's so good.
Yeah, with the feather in his head.
feather.
Yeah, with the mushrooms.
First thing he's talking about is doing doing yoga. He's like,
That's good though. That's good.
I like
you know?
He said, if I'm with you, the best part,
best.
the best thing he said was like, if I'm with the group and I'm just not vibing, I'm out. I'm not gonna be there vibing with people that's not vibing with me. I'm gonna go to the beach, do yoga.
Exactly.
I'm like, yes, please do
Preserve
it.
the body, preserve the mind. I need to meditate more. I've been saying that forever.
yeah, I've been back on my meditation grind.
good.
I've been meditating
Yes.
every day,
That's good.
twice a day.
That's great.
Even when I'm coming home drunk after the bars.
He got himself a little zafu,
I got a
so
Zafu in the bins, and I was like,
What's this zafu?
It's like the traditional meditation cushion.
Yeah.
And so it's like I got like usually, dude, they sell those things for $80.
Yeah, it's a lit one. It's a lit one from Naropa looking one.
It's like the funniest thing to me is that they sell meditation. Oh, you want to meditate?
It's expensive.
Oh yeah, becoming.
It's commodified.
$80.
It's commodified.
How can I meditate if I don't have the $80 meditation pillow?
Yo, that was my first paper in Boulder about when I went to Naropa. Was about how shocked I was how much spirituality in Boulder has been commodified. Even the clothing stores is like Prana and like Asana and like it's got this Vedic Indian names. Yeah. These people don't know what it is. Even Avanti.
Actually, yeah.
You know, like there's this is like
Avanti's Italian.
Not Avanti. What am I saying? Dushanbe.
Oh yeah.
You know, like
Dushanbe's but Dushanbe's not.
That's Turkish.
No, it's,
that's
no.
Tajik.
No, there's a lot of people going there don't know what it is. But there's a lot of people who they don't know anything about it. They're just kind of like, and it becomes this like tourist attraction kind of thing. And it's like art.
I was there one time though, and there was there was a
traditional like
festival.
I missed that. That sucks.
I know. I saw you later that day, and you're like, "Wow, you should have told me."
You should have told me. But
it wasn't that cool. It was just like a whole bunch of like.
There's a lot of money in Boulder though for spirituality.
Oh, yeah.
You can have yoga classes cost so much money. The ecstatic dance up in the mountain. You can pay for nudist retreat. You can get IV drips.
Perennial sunning.
Hey,
I was like, okay.
Freedom, I guess. Whatever. You go to Sugarloaf. You can get laser tag surgery. What?
That's spiritual.
I'm joking. I hope I'm still in the frame. I feel like I'm.
Y'all know anyone who's in a cult down here?
Huh?
Y'all know anyone who's in a cult?
Oh yeah, a lot of cults. Do you know about the Yo Deli cult?
No.
There's a restaurant on Pearl Street.
I heard about that restaurant.
Yeah, and it's ran by like some like what are they like Hebrew Israelites or something?
Like the third. They're like one of the lost.
The lost tribes.
Of Israel or something. Yeah. And so they're not.
they might have started that fire or something.
Kind of, and they apparently started.
Marshall Fire.
They started the worst fire in Colorado in like
30 years. Is it 30 years?
I don't know. Maybe all time or something. I don't know.
It might have been all time. You know about that? Were you here when the fire happened?
No, but I heard
that was
about
about on those last New Year.
It was
It was like the eve of 20.
windy. Power lines fell. Wind caused everything to burn.
It was like New Year's. It was literally like New Year's Day or something, wasn't it?
No, I was at the bins.
No. I know you were coming back, and I remember.
I was with G1. It was January, definitely.
I saw you later, like in that day. I remember. Yeah. Wait. It was like. Oh, maybe it was just before New Year or something like that. I don't remember exactly. We'd have to look at it.
Look at him. Pokeball. Sorry, I woke you up. He's so cute. Chilling. But there's also other cults, like Naropa is a borderline cult.
Well, that's the thing too.
Shambhala.
A lot of
cultish as hell. Very suspect.
There's a lot of recruiting for cults. I mean, I feel like Naropa is like a breeding ground for cults in a way. Just because there's so many like kind of open-minded people who are like dissatisfied
ready
with
for
the way that the world works.
Yeah.
They're ready to be like
lack meaning too. They need.
Like, there's literally people who go there just for a semester just to recruit to a cult.
Yeah, but some people spiritually lost individuals need that. I feel like
they target people like that.
They target you. Yeah.
Need that. I think that that's
they need that meaning. Like that's what they think they need.
They're craving some meaning. Yeah, and people take advantage of that.
It's scary.
It's scary as fuck.
It's happened. It's been dead. Like there's examples of cults being like terribly deadly. Even like what's the one? The Kool-Aid one.
The Kool-Aid cult.
Heaven's Gate.
Heaven's Gate.
Wait, no. The Kool-Aid was not. That was the Jonestown Massacre.
Jonestown. There's a lot of them. There's too many to count. There's also the one with Osho. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Wild Country.
Washington or something, right?
Oregon or something. Yeah.
Pacific
I feel like when you're in that spiritual spot, like you gotta go it alone. I really don't know. Like, I think it really is a rare place when you find like
you gotta be as little suspicious.
Yeah, you gotta find really. You have to be in the right. The atmosphere is so crucial. Like the reason why I love Sadhguru is like he creates the most delicate and like.
That's it. We hit out all the things on the list. Sadhguru is the last one.
Really?
Yeah.
Perfect. Because he's a good example of cult. Like India has histories of cults, and like it's for them it's not a fearful thing. It's like they explore it in all its ways. There's crazy cults that like they be doing rituals and weird shit and like almost borderline black magic almost. There's cults that like are devoted to the feminine or the masculine, or they've consecrated certain grounds and temples. So for them, cult is almost worship. It's almost like church. So you see like how what it's supposed to be over there and how it's been diluted and distorted because of money and capitalism over here, and how it's just caused many lives. Because when I went to practice with Sadhguru, because I went to the program, like the moment you walk in there, it feels different. Because it's like one of those things, it just takes you there. Like it doesn't feel like you're constantly like trying to find this meaning, this thing. It's almost like you know absolutely nothing, and you gonna start to feel and see certain things. Because that's what it should be about.
So
It should be actually. There's a yoga program. It's a yoga program,
okay,
yeah. Which you get initiated into. I got initiated into what's called the Shambhavi Mahamudra. I believe if I say it correctly. But it's a very simple 21-minute exercise. A lot of breathing, and I learned it about 3 or 4 years ago. And you know, especially when I first got into it, it was a whirlwind. You know, it just really takes you over. I've been slowing on it more and more as I get older, but I've already benefited, I think, so much from that one. He has levels. You can go back and do like Shunya, or there's other ones that I forgot the names of that are more advanced in this program. And he has levels, but it's like going to school. Like it's not just like a lot of yoga programs. They think it's like you're just gonna go stretch, bend, and you know you're gonna figure it out. Like it's very specific. It's like science. It's not this like go stretch it out a bit and you're gonna figure some shit out. Like no. There's many schools of thoughts, many books written about this, but also many like wisdom traditions kept and held by people like Sadhguru.
It's cool to meet somebody who's holding one of those things.
He's holding it down in a way like he tells you before you leave, like the moment you sit with me, I got you, which I thought was like the most uplifting thing ever. Because I didn't even understand what it was, but it felt like I felt so like safe there, which you don't. It wasn't this like clamor and need for meaning. It was almost like life-giving, you know, like the opposite.
This is what I think. It's like we need more of this life-affirming stuff, less of this whole like I'll pay just a few payments.
Yeah, and all this exclusive shit where you make it like join this thing where it's like your secret, and it's like that's
it's all bullshit.
It's bullshit.
Yeah,
it's bullshit. And, I mean, go ahead. You go.
I'm wrapping up right now.
Yeah, I'm willing to pay because Sadhguru runs a non-profit foundation, so you pay a little bit for like a whole like multiple day program. It's like worth times a million. It's like he had his own like social media app that he created because he was getting like restricted on YouTube and stuff. Oh, okay, we're about to wrap it up soon.
Yeah, no, we gotta wrap it up.
So
right now.
We'll talk about it next week. Coming for you, Sadhguru. We're getting cut off by our sound. Anyway.
Hey. We're going to keep it real. We're going to keep it free. This is Pirate Radio. This is life affirming.
Sweet potato.
There's no payments for the sweet potato. Sweet potato Pirate Radio right here.
Until our Patreon comes out.
We got our first gift right here.
Jelani.
All right. Thank you so much.
Peace to the Middle East.
Do some outro music.
Bye.